Welcome, everyone. If you're focused, driven, and looking to seriously build a new stream of income, well, you are in the perfect place. In today's Explainer, we're embarking on a highly actionable mission. It's a 30-day challenge to hit $1,000 in pure profit. And no, we aren't talking about outdated methods here. We're strictly looking at 3 specific, highly leveraged 2026 side hustles that you can start literally today.
So, are you ready to become the protagonist of your own financial mission? Because the absolute best part about the blueprints we're about to look at is that there's no large upfront investment needed. Seriously, zero. You don't need thousands of dollars in seed money. You just need your laptop, an internet connection, and the strategic focus to execute what we discussed today.
Okay, let's dive right into this. First things first, you gotta build your arsenal. The entire foundation of this 30-day challenge rests on what we call the 2026 Free Starter Kit. If you haven't already, I want you to open these 3 completely free accounts immediately after this explainer. You'll need Canva for your design capabilities, ChatGPT as your primary AI engine to handle all the heavy lifting, and Upwork as your client acquisition platform. These 3 tools, they are the only gatekeepers between you and your first $1,000.
So here's our game plan for today. Hustle 1, AI services. Hustle 2, print on demand. Hustle 3, UGC creation. And finally, the boss level, hustle taxes.
All right, jumping into Hustle 1, AI services, leveraging Promptilus for freelance margins.
You know, in 2026, we let AI handle the grunt work. It basically automates the absolute hardest part of freelancing, which is getting the actual client. With our toolkit, we completely automate this non-billable process. Step 1 uses a cold outreach email writer prompt. By referencing something highly specific and proposing concrete value, you can actually hit a massive 8 to 15% reply rate. Compare that to the standard 1 to 2% for those generic copy-paste templates. Then, step 2 brings in a competitor teardown prompt to perfectly position you against other freelancers. And finally, step 3 uses a proposal writer to whip up a full targeted proposal in just 20 minutes instead of, 2 agonizing hours. And this brilliantly illustrates a total game changer. It enables a massive shift in how you charge. You've got to stop using standard hourly rates. By using a value-based pricing framer prompt, you completely shift the conversation with your client. Suddenly, it's about investment versus return. For projects with high ROI, like landing pages or SEO, framing your pricing based on the actual value you deliver creates a typical 2 to 4 times uplift on the exact same deliverable. Crazy, right?
Now, look, let's be real. Your income is mostly determined by the totally unglamorous 80% of freelance work, the administration and the client management. Check out this toolkit. A pricing calculator prompt ensures you build in buffers for scope creep, which instantly fixes that 25 to 40% loss most freelancers suffer from underpricing themselves. Then, a contract scanner spots hidden legal traps before you sign anything. And if a client is dragging their feet, a late payment follow-up sequence escalates things professionally, getting over 85% of late invoices paid without ruining your working relationship. I mean, that is pure operational leverage on autopilot.
Okay, moving right along to Hustle 2, print on demand, digital designs, physical profits.
Let's look at how taking those digital designs you just made in Canva can turn into a highly scalable physical business. Print on demand, or POD, lets you run a branded merchandise store directly from your laptop. The logic here is beautifully simple. You use Canva to create the designs, and a fulfillment partner prints and ships the product only after a customer actually orders it. This completely flips the traditional retail model on its head. Normal physical product businesses, they require huge upfront investments in manufacturing and inventory, which is incredibly risky. But with POD, you have 0 dead stock, 0 unsold designs sitting in your garage. It eliminates all the massive costs and manufacturing headaches, giving you a completely cash flow positive model from day one.
And in 2026, the barrier to entry is literally lower than ever. By partnering with platforms like Merchant, you instantly get access to a massive catalog of over 50,000 ready-to-sell products. You don't even have to build a website from scratch or hunt down a manufacturer. You just apply your Canva designs and start selling everything from t-shirts to tech accessories nationwide.
All right, Hustle 3, UGC creation, user-generated content rates.
Now, what's really interesting about this slide is the demand. A staggering 56% of consumers want to see user-generated content. Why? Because traditional ads just don't stop the scroll anymore. Because of this crazy high demand, notice the baseline price for 2026. A single UGC video sits comfortably between $150 and $300. Think about that in the context of our 30-day challenge. If you land just 4 to 7 of these short video projects, boom, you've already hit your $1,000 goal.
But we absolutely have to clarify a massive difference here. UGC creators are not influencers. Influencers get paid for the size of their audience and their follower count. UGC, on the other hand, is a straight value exchange based entirely on your content deliverables. You are getting paid for your ability to shoot, edit, and deliver a video that matches the brand's needs. You could literally have 0 followers on social media and still make thousands of dollars a month creating UGC.
To hit your goal even faster, you really need to understand the strategic UGC upsell menu. That base rate of $150 to $300, that's just the starting point. If a brand wants the rights to run your video as a paid ad, you charge an extra 30 to 50% for usage rights. If they need it fast, tack on a 25 to 50% rush delivery fee. You can even charge extra for writing the script. And to maximize project value, offer bundle discounts, like selling a pack of 5 videos at a 19% discount to lock in a larger contract all at once.
Finally, the boss level hustle taxes. Let's make sure you actually keep the money you make.
So you've acquired the skills and hit your $1,000 goal. Amazing! But wait, now you face the final boss, the IRS. Honestly, failing to plan for them is the absolute fastest way to completely ruin a successful side hustle. The most critical concept to grasp here is the self-employment or SE tax. The exact moment your side hustle hits a net profit of just $400 for the year, this tax is triggered. It's a 15.3% federal tax covering Social Security and Medicare. And because you are both the employer and the employee in your side hustle, you owe that full 15.3% right off the top. And yep, that is in addition to your standard income tax.
And please, don't think you can fly under the radar. In 2026, strict 1099-K reporting thresholds mean that the IRS absolutely sees your digital payments. Whether you're getting paid through PayPal, Venmo, Etsy, or Upwork, it's all being tracked. You must open a dedicated business account immediately to avoid commingling your funds, and you need to maintain an aggressive paper trail of your expenses to lower your taxable burden legally.
So the crucial point here is that the U.S. tax system is strictly pay-as-you-go. If you expect to owe more than $1,000 in taxes for the year, you have to make quarterly estimated payments. The standard advice from experts, like Jose's tax service, is to automatically set aside 25 to 30% of every single payment you receive into a separate savings account. That way, you're perfectly ready for these April, June, September, and January deadlines.
As we wrap up, I want to leave you with this incredibly motivating thought. A successful side hustle usually has a slow start while you figure out all the mechanics. But by utilizing the 2026 Starter Kit, AI for freelance leverage, Canva for print on demand, and your smartphone for UGC, you are building a remarkably strong foundation. And once that foundation is built, the income just keeps flowing. Starting is always the hardest part, but you've got this. We've laid out the entire blueprint. You have the tools, you have the strategies, and you know exactly how to handle the taxes. Your 30-day challenge to your first $1,000 starts right now. So the only question left is, which of these 3 hustles will you launch today? Take that first step and I'll see you in the next explainer.